Today's lesson is why you need to be drinking celery juice. So I'm sure all of you have seen the trend happening right now. It's all about celery juice. The medical medium made celery juice a thing. Sorry, I have like a piece of lint on my lipstick. And it's all over. If you YouTube it, if you hashtag it, people are healing from celery juice. And I've seen some conflicting videos on YouTube of like, oh, I did it and it didn't do anything. And but I question the amount of time that someone juiced and said it didn't do anything. And I've even heard some people say that they've had reactions to it that they didn't like. So they stopped. So I want to address those as well. But first I want to tell you a part of my own celery juicing story. When it started getting all popular and everyone was like freaking out about it, I was hesitant myself because I don't like the taste of celery. I thought it was disgusting. Sure, I would mix little pieces into in the past, tuna salad, or now I'll still use it for like potato salad or salmon. It's always like one of those additives that we put into soups or broths or something like that. But for me, the idea of drinking straight celery juice was it was not appealing. But I was willing to have an open mind and give it a try. But I also know that if you tell yourself you're going to hate something and you recycle that mindset, then you're going to hate it because you've already told yourself you're going to hate it subconsciously and you've focused on it and you've dwelled on it. And so when you do it, usually you get the outcome that you've already predetermined yourself to have. So you're going to hate it. So instead of sabotaging myself and saying, okay, this is going to suck, I'm going to hate it, I was like, I'm going to give it a try. We'll see. That was like more my take on it. So, why celery juice? What is celery juice doing? Why are so many people healing from celery juice? And why is this a challenge that I want to bring to you guys? So I did a post the other day called the 12 Reasons Why. I can actually repost that in the group if you didn't see it on my coaching page. So I'll give you 12 reasons why you need to celery juice. Are you ready? Number 1, it lowers inflammation. That right there is a reason to do it. How many of us had or have massive amounts of inflammation? Like everyone. And inflammation equals pain, and inflammation equals a lot of uncomfortable symptoms. So it lowers inflammation. 2, it supports weight loss. How many of you want to lose weight? Okay, there's a good reason, number 2. Number 3, it heals your digestive system. How many people have jacked up guts? Yeah, so there you go. It reduces bloating. How many of you have bloating? Yeah. It helps heal eczema and psoriasis. I personally have never had those, but I know a lot of people do. It helps prevent UTIs. A lot of girls are getting chronic UTIs. Those hurt and those suck. So it actually prevents those way better than cranberry juice. It heals acne. How many of you are struggling with period acne, pimples, or blackheads? I was, for sure. It helps heal high blood pressure. High blood pressure is super dangerous, and it heals that. It helps lower cholesterol. High cholesterol is a big deal too. It's a lot of pressure. Plaque buildup in your arteries. And it helps prevent ulcers. Yeah, okay. And it protects your liver. And I can tell you from my own experience, if you didn't watch the video I just posted on oral health, it's healing my receding gums. And I haven't had a cold sore breakout in a while because I have the herpes simplex 1 virus, also on top of the Epstein-Barr virus, on top of the streptococcus virus. But if I have a cold sore, then I'll put my finger in the celery juice and dab it, and it heals that really fast. And then I even got a canker sore in my mouth, and I was like, so I swish it around in my mouth to help heal my receding gums and like canker sores. And it works. I was just looking at my mouth the other day, and the receding gum on this side is gone. It's better, but I'm still healing this side. So I should do some before and after pics for you guys. Now, if that's not enough reasons for you guys to start to try celery juicing, I honestly don't know what it's going to take. So you guys, I had the worst bloating, the worst constipation, horrible energy levels, and period. Not like acne, because I wouldn't I wouldn't break out super bad, but it was enough to be annoying. Like, I knew my period was coming, and so my hormones changed, and I would get like a pimple here, pimple there, enough for my boyfriend to be like, oh, you got some zits, huh? I'm like, shut up. So all of those symptoms that I just told you about have completely gone away or have completely healed. And I was looking through my lab work this morning, and I want to show you guys on my own actual lab test the reflection of the healing that I have had from celery juice. Are you ready? This is really exciting. Okay, I have to turn my phone so I can show you my laptop. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can get close enough. I gotta pull my laptop forward. Hang on, you guys. I'm gonna look in the chat box really fast to see if anyone's saying anything. Okay. All right, so here we go. So this is my labs from 4/22/2019. Okay, that's me. All right, so let me scroll down. Hang tight. Look at my total cholesterol. It was pretty high. Remember I said it healed cholesterol? Okay. This was the time period in my life that I started studying the Epstein-Barr virus. And I was like, you know what? I remember I had a functional medicine doctor tell me 5 or 6 years ago, doing some, when I supposedly went Hashimoto's or, full autoimmune, she was doing all these panels, and she's like, by the way, you have EBV. And then she put me on some monolaurin, which is an antiviral, and but we moved forward. So considering that I'd already been told that, and that came back to my mind, I asked my doctor to retest me, and sure enough, it's still there, but it was high. So there's only 3 tests that the doctors offer. One is it means like, is it active right now? Or is it still like actively dormant in your system? And as you can see, my IgG antibodies were high, and my AB IgG antibodies were high as well. So what that means is, the first one that's green, what that means is I didn't have a current active infection, but it's definitely still in my body, hanging out. So there's something you guys need to understand about the EBV virus. Once you contract it, it's always there. It's one of those bugs that we've always had, that we've always coexisted with as humans. But because of the changes of the climate on our planet over the years, and lab scientists doing a lot of lab tests on it and turning it into a superbug, it has mutated and turned into a bug that now hurts us. So when I talk about healing my EBV, it's one of those things where I want to get these numbers down so it's not in my liver, in my thyroid gland, attacking my body, but it's something that I know that I'm always going to keep in my system. First of all, because I don't want to contract it. I don't want to like completely eradicate it and then go in a public bathroom and touch something, or you drink an infected glass at a restaurant and get a new strain and get sick all over again. Because there's over 60 different strains of EBV, and it's literally everywhere. You go make out with someone new, you're probably exposing yourself to a new strain of EBV. So what we want to do is always try to keep these pathogens at bay so they aren't overriding our system and making us sick with symptoms. Does that make sense? So, because this test came back showing that I had EBV in my system, that was my decision to start juicing, because there was the rhetoric, and I was learning that it helps beat down the virus that is attacking your thyroid, and heals your symptoms by killing off the virus. Okay, so my next lab is from. So I started celery juicing about a month after that lab when I was showing the EBV. And now fast forward basically a year later, my doctor just had me pull my labs a few months ago because he's a cool guy. For me, I kind of have lost my desire to pull all of my labs. Now I just use it for like maintenance to be able to see how my detoxing and cleansing is going. So this was really cool to see. All right, so this is my TPO antibodies. Everyone knows about their TPO antibodies. All the doctors love to pull these, and it's what a lot of people in the thyroid groups freak out about, saying their antibodies are really high, their body's attacking themselves. And so I want to teach you what TPO antibodies are and how celery juice healed and decreased my antibodies. Okay, so as you see, this chart goes from 2000 in January, or before 2018, so that was probably December 2017, all the way to May 2020. So I got a pretty good graph going on. So back here in 2017 is when I learned about LDN. I started studying LDN, and it kind of seemed like a magical pill. And I was like, ooh, I want that. So I found a doctor that would prescribe it to me. I was having it made at a compounded pharmacy, and I started tracking my antibodies so I could see what the LDN was doing for my body. So this is my first baseline. When I started the LDN, I was only at a 123. And then in January, I was at 106, and I'll never forget this one because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's working, it's going down. And then I stayed stable, went down a little more in May, still on the LDN. I took the LDN for a year. And then a few months later, boom, it spiked. And I remember this one because I was super mad because I'm like, I take LDN. Why is it going back up? And then the next one, I was still on the LDN, it went down. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting. I didn't change my LDN. I didn't do anything different. And there was that dramatic drop. So that tripped me out. and then it went back up a little bit. And this was the point where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this, like up and down, up and down. It doesn't really seem like the LDN really works at keeping me stable like the way I hoped. So I stopped taking it. Okay. And so I go from here all the way to here. So now this is off of my LDN. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I go off and it's totally spiked. Holy crap. And then I go to the next one. May to September, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so high. You know, remember I started at 123 and now I'm at a 206. This was the exact same time that I tested for my Epstein-Barr virus. And if you guys remember what the Epstein-Barr virus test was called, they were testing for antibodies. So I want you to know that that's like a really general term that they use when it comes to your gut, or sorry, your immune system working for you, not working against you, working for you. So my body was definitely indicating that I was fighting off a virus, especially, or fighting off something. And that's why it was going up and down, and then especially going up again. So this was my starting point for celery juice. Okay. All right. So here we are. So I've pretty much been juicing for a year to, I guess, a year and a half. My gosh, I kind of lost track, but yeah, this was my turning point. Okay. Now I haven't done anything different in my life. Well, let's see. I cut out eggs. That was the only thing I changed. I started juicing and I started cutting out eggs. Supplements are different story. And this is where I'm at now. So Kim, you asked me, does it help your antibodies? And here's a direct reflection on my labs. Celery, no celery juice, with celery juice. So that's really awesome to know that the celery juice is working and it's fighting off my infection. And I also want to show you one other thing. Okay, so here's my history of my TSH. I was just like all of you guys. My TSH was so erratic. Look at this graph. And what's funny about this graph is look at that, 6.06. I went from a 1.77 to a 6.06. I never changed my medication dosage. Actually, I did change my brand for a couple of months just because the manufacturer shut their warehouse down. So I had to go to a synthetic nature thyroid or a generic. And then I got back on regular nature thyroid. But even after I did that, my numbers still just jumped constantly. And it was when I hit this point, look, October of the same year. So it was September or October of 2019 when I just said, that's it. All of my levels are high. Everything's erratic. I'm tired of this game. I'm tired of all of this. And clearly I have a pathogen in my body attacking me. And that's what my antibodies are high, showing me that it's going after them. And I got to do something about it. So this is when I added celery juice into my life. And look at my TSH now. Well, as of a few months ago. 1.62. 1.62. That is quite a dramatic change for the better. Shows that my body is processing and converting hormones, and I'm not under such a load. My thyroid isn't under such a heavy load of attack and viral infections, and I'm very happy, very happy. So this is why I challenge you guys to start celery juicing. Proof is in the pudding, right? So, as you can see, my labs got better, and I have been feeling better. It was absolutely a nightmare having bloating and constipation all the time. I remember I would eat dinner, and then my boyfriend, you know, we would all want to watch a movie with the kids and stuff, and my stomach would bloat. It would be so painful, and I would end up in the bathroom, I don't know, from like 6 in the evening till midnight. I would just be in constant pain, and it just destroyed the quality of my living and the quality of my family time. And I was over it. And so since I've been juicing, that's all gone. That is just all gone. Okay, so what does it take for you to begin celery juicing? All right, so the first thing you need is a juicer. I got my juicer on the app OfferUp for $50. I had, the brand is Breville. It's Breville. He had a brand new Breville that he got for a present, and it's an easy $100 juicer that he was just selling in the box, never used, never opened, for $50. It was a total score. So I encourage you to look around and see if you can find anything like that. If not, that's fine. I've seen the Breville, they're actually the model up from mine on Amazon for $100. That's still not a bad juicer. So there's two types of juicers. There's masticating and there's high speed. The masticating is the one that has like the long neck, and you see the people putting the celery juice in kind of like the neck area, and it's really slow, and it like chomps. It looks like it chomps, and it's one celery stalk at a time, and it's so slow and horrible, and it takes forever. I don't have that kind of time. So I love my Breville. It's high powered. I can put like 5 stalks in at once. I just take it after I cut the end off, rinse it off, or wash it with some Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap, like a dab of it. I put like 5 stalks in my hand, shove it in the top, push it down with the thing. It goes, vroom. It even makes the noise. The kids love doing it, and it's just so quick and easy. And the cleanup is quick and easy, which I love too. So I've been using and abusing my amazing Breville for over a year now, and it's still a champ going at it. So a lot of people ask, should I juice organic celery stalks or conventional? The answer to that is it's whatever your budget can afford. Just because I know so much about the different herbicides and pesticides and all the junk that goes into conventional growing and all the chemicals that they spray on their crops, and I'm personally turned off by that. So I pay twice as much, and I get the organic, which for me is $1.99 a stalk. And when you start out juicing, it's 16 ounces a morning, which is 2 cups on an empty stomach. So this is how I do it. I wake up. The first thing I do when I wake up is I take my temperature, because I track my cycle every morning. I take my my basal temperature. Then I input that into my app. And then if I'm feeling extra dehydrated, then I'll drink a big glass of lemon water, wait 15 to 30 minutes, and then drink my celery juice. You can do that too. But if I'm feeling okay, then I'll just stumble downstairs, get out my celery stalk, cut the end off, rinse it off, shove it in. 16 ounces is the bare minimum. I personally do a whole mason jar, which is 32. The coaster stuck. But that's not required. That's just where I'm at personally. So throw in 1 stalk, takes 1 second, chug it. Takes 2 seconds to chug it. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how well the taste is. Now, let me tell you something. It definitely depends on the stalk. So I use Instacart for the majority of my shopping, and when I put my celery stalks in the cart, I always leave a note of please grab me light green stalks that are extra, like as big as you can get them. The bigger they are, the more watery they are, the watered down taste they have, and it's just more palatable to drink. The ones that are like super small and skinny and dark green have a really pungent taste, and I've barely been able to choke some of those down. They were kind of gross. So I've totally become a celery snob. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a celery snob, but it's kind of miserable choking nasty celery juice down. But the majority of the time, it's not like that. But I am warning you. There is a difference, because I wondered that myself and I found out the hard way. So conventional celery is 99 cents a stalk. If you can't afford organic, that's fine. Get conventional. Just use a good celery or produce wash, which, like I said, is the Dr. Bronner's peppermint wash. Gets everything off, doesn't leave a flavor. It's great stuff. I love it. I was just curious on if you could get celery juice delivered. So I looked up online, and there is a website an app called Postmates. And if you have a local little juicer retails, whatever, you know what I mean, they will actually deliver it for you. So I called my little local juicer, not Jamba Juice. I called my little mom and pop shop. And they do offer 16 ounces of fresh celery juice on Postmates. It's conventional celery, and they probably don't wash it. So yes, you will be drinking all of those chemicals. But for 16 ounces, it was $5.45. So one stock could be 99 cents. Organic stock could be $2, and they're charging $5.45. So that's up to you. If you want to take on that kind of expense in order for this to be your health, to help your health. Oh, I forgot to mention, I never brush my teeth. You're not supposed to brush your teeth before you drink, because when you put the chemicals from the toothpaste in your mouth, the residue stays in your mouth, and it can distort the sodium cluster salt minerals that are in the celery juice that actually are the magic. So I always just brush my teeth like an hour later, and after I've drank all my celery juice and then a bunch of water and then some I don't know, chaga tea or something, your morning mouth is gone, and it tastes better anyways. So I really think that for you guys getting going, I've been playing around with this, like, should I have them do 14 days, which is 2 weeks, or should I have them do 30 days? So I want you guys to be the gauge of that, because I know for myself, 14 days, like, when I started noticing my symptoms were gone, it was very subtle the way it happened. Like, it wasn't like one day I was just like, oh, I don't have any bloating today. You know, like, I drank it 5 days in and was like, oh, I didn't bloat today. It was like I had to do it for like a month and then look back and go, oh, I've been feeling a lot better. I haven't been constipated. I haven't had any bloating. And it was like, it took me some time to reflect on feeling better. So I think a 30-day challenge would be best, so that you guys have that amount of time to be able to see reversal in or decrease in your symptoms. But if that feels like too much, then I'd like to at least start off with 2 weeks. So I would love your feedback on that for sure. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Now, oh, I have a sneeze coming on. Sorry. Got me. Probably all the construction outside and their dust. All right, that totally distracted me. Oh, so I would love your guys' feedback on how you feel about this. And I would really love I would just love to see you guys dive into this and see how it helps you guys individually, and be able to have you post daily, weekly of how it's going, and really make this fun and interactive for all of our sisters here. So let me know what you think. I'll be waiting. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Bye.